We have heard from the governmental approach, I would say probably doing pretty well in terms of offering public services through technologies, right? Now we're turning to not so government-centric or focused approach represented by non-profit organizations as well as for-profit social enterprises, right? So I'd like to now introduce our second speaker, Hong Fu Dang. Hong is the founder of FOSSASIA, an organization that strives to improve people's lives through sharing open technologies and sustainable production. She serves as a vice chair of the Open Source Committee IEEE, a board member of the Open Source Business Alliance Europe. With over a decade of open source expertise, she supports companies in their technology transition to open source and inner source development models. Her recent efforts focused on bringing open source hardware into production at scale. Okay, so Hong, the floor is yours, please.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for the introduction. Yes, so let me try to share my screen. Can you see my screen? Great. Okay, good. Yes. One second. Yes, so I guess you cannot see me. It shows on the screen that the camera is turned off for better resolution of the screen in some way. But I hope that you can hear me well. Build a better world with open technologies. This is our slogan, and this is also something that I and many fellow FOSSASIA members believe in. So when we talk about open technologies, to us, open technologies are free and open source technology, just for the context. I want to talk briefly about our mission and what we do at FOSSASIA. Many people in the world, especially in developing countries, are struggling to obtain a good life, a good living condition, as simply as having a good air to breathe. Improving people's lives is our mission. So we want to improve people's life by sharing open technologies, knowledge, and resources, and building a sustainable, free, and open source ecosystem. We try to achieve this goal by collaborating with local community members from around the world. And so on the screen here, you see a few members of our community. I thought maybe I touch a little bit on the scale of the organization so that you can understand how many people actually involved in building solutions that improve people's lives at FOSSASIA. We have on average 15 minutes of pull requests on our repository, 35,000 developers active on our mailing list and social media, 4,000 developers registered on the FOSSASIA GitHub org. We train 2,000 plus developers every year through our coding program. Organize online and face-to-face developer events and hackathon workshops throughout Asia. We have over 100 authors for the FOSSASIA technical blog. Our focus, so three main areas of activities at FOSSASIA. Of course, we develop open source software and hardware solution that can improve the situation for people. We organize events. So having event is the way to create a platform to bring people together, to share ideas, to share solutions, to collaborate on projects. Coding program, we try to build capacity and skill set for younger generation to empower them to create technology, to create solution for themselves. FOSSASIA is registered as a private limited company in Singapore and an office in Vietnam. However, we operate like a non-profit. We generate income to support our community work through following commercial activities as you see here. So we get income through offering software as a service, through hardware sale, through events and prevents hackathon that we organize for our partners, and offering consulting services around like software development process or open source practices. These are a few projects that we develop at FOSSASIA. So we have from Suzy AI and open source AI solution, we have our own search engine, we have educational game, we have our own desktop Linux distribution. Yes, and I just want to quickly like introduce two projects, one software project and one hardware project as a representation for our work. EventYay is an open source event management system. The reason why we will EventYay, as you know, having a platform where people collaborate is very important to work together. And we were struggling to discover a solution that combine like a call for paper, video infrastructure, communication infrastructure that freely available to the community. So we built something ourselves, and this solution has been using by not only FOSSASIA but also by many other organizations and companies outside of Asia. For instance, the Open Source Business Alliance Europe actually use our system. So just on the screen, just a snapshot of how the system look like. You can arrange your schedule. There's a lot of things that you can do. It integrated with a video system, scheduling, ticketing, and many more. But the important thing is this is open source and it's totally extendable, and it could be customized based on your need. This is a software project, and next I want to also introduce another open source hardware project. This is the Pocket Science Lab. By the name, so follow the idea of having the lab in your pocket. Why do we want to work on open hardware? So the thing is, the original idea behind this project, everything that we see now in the world, like made from electronics. So in order to empower people to build things, to make electronics, we're thinking that we should offer a device where people can make experiment, where people can learn. And this is the original idea of the Pocket Science Lab. This Pocket Science Lab is a USB power attention that a small device but come with all kind of function, oscilloscope, multimeter, logic analyzer, weight generator. So everything in one device, and it also has the capacity of interacting with different sensors. It's to measure temperature, to measure humidity. So most of the sensors that work with the Arduino boards also work with the Pocket Science Lab. What do people use it for? So you can actually develop and control robotic arms. So make experiment, create something that you can learn from. You can connect with an ultrasonic distance sensor. Or like biologists use the Pocket Science Lab as a spectrometer, where you can really check the health of your plant, or check the brightness of the fruits, like to serve for biology. So this is just a few applications how people in the community have been using the Pocket Science Lab. Yeah, and this is how it's in live action. So here you see the Pocket Science Lab already been casing, connect to your phone. We have an open source Android application and also a desktop application where you can control the app. and the schematics of the device also available on GitHub. Beside the projects that we're doing, I mentioned a little bit earlier, we organize, we run education coding program. CodeHit.org is something that we've been running for the past 5 years to introduce the open source development process and to teach young developers learn how to code and how to work in a real life projects. The outcome of this, so every year we attract about 700 to 800 participants in this program. So people will get a certificate for completing a number of pull requests. They also get financial support as reward for their work. Over the year, we have seen many students and interns from the FOSSASIA come out as a very successful developer, landing them a good position in very big tech firm or government sector. This year is a very special year for us because we're going to use this contest as a way to memorize, to remember our mentor and developer who passed away last year during the pandemic, Arif Jaman. And the events, the contest is going on right now. If you are interested, or you could share with your network and the community. The next thing that I also want to introduce to you, which is the FOSSASIA Summit. We've been running this summit for the past 13 years to bring people together to share ideas and work together on solutions. So this particular event that will happen in April from 7 to 9 will focus on open source solutions that tackle global issues. So we talk about climate change, we talk about supply chain issue, we talk about the global health issue currently going on at the moment. So I want to take the opportunity to invite you to check out our call for speakers and perhaps join us at the event online. This is a snapshot of the last the last face-to-face event in 2019, taken in Lifelong Learning Institute in Singapore. Yes, and just to sum up my short introduction, we believe that by openly sharing knowledge and technologies, we are able to collaborate on a global scale. And you see here something that I mentioned earlier, the FOSSASIA and the work that we release to the public have been a collaboration effort for many people around the world. And this open sharing model, we believe, is the foundation for a better future, where we can use globally developed technologies like the FOSSASIA Lab to produce locally. So we have the schematics available, everyone can produce themselves. And the goal of making a positive impact to our society to improve people's lives is a very big goal. Of course, FOSSASIA alone cannot do it, but we want to be an example. We want to show people that it's possible to make something happen when you collaborate openly with members who share the same vision and beliefs. And finally, thank you very much for your attention. I also have my email in case you want to get in touch. Thank you.